Hello, Libra. Welcome into your reading. So glad to have you here. We are trying to figure out your December month predictions and trying to figure out what the energies are going to be like going into the month, going out of the month, and everything in between, what you need to be made aware of, things like that. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. Without further ado, the energy that you're going to be going into the month of December is the Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. Interesting. So I do feel like there is a sense of protection around you with this guardian. And it almost feels like this is going to be an energy. Maybe you've already experienced this a little bit here within the month of November or the tail end of November. But it feels very like heightened that you might be practicing new things spiritually. There might be some things that maybe you feel like you're kind of stepping out of comfort zone. Maybe you are allowing yourself to kind of like feel free enough to do things without fear of judgment or some kind like that. But I also feel like maybe there's some new things that you are investigating in, maybe some things that maybe you felt very uncomfortable pursuing before, and now you're giving it a chance this time and allowing yourself really to have that freedom to do things that feel very called to you to do, and you are being protected in this manner. You probably are being kind of guided in that way and with that light as well. That's very interesting, but let's see what the major timeline is going to be like overall for you here within the month of December. Cards wanting to come out here. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. We have the Nine of Cups, the Justice card. And then we also have the Ten of Cups. So there is something that is definitely coming to completion, some sort of energy that you are, on the cusp of finalizing, and then also going to be kind of, working hard at finalizing this type of energy. This is something that I feel like is pretty generalized to Libra, is that they are, constantly trying to, get to that finish line in some sort of way of doing something, that they are very in a passionate state to be able to do something. And I think it's working in your favor here, where you are definitely going to continue to work hard, continue to put love and all the right energies to this certain thing. And what I'm kind of feeling like is happening here is this is emotional fulfillment. This isn't necessarily like giving off like a finalized product to something, right? This feels more like an emotional fulfillment type of energy here. And I think it's something that's been long overdue, something that's been waiting for you to get to that point. But it almost feels like a lot of I had a word for this while ago. It's definitely self-love type of energy, but it also feels like something else. Let me see here. What am I thinking of? So the energy that I'm feeling is kind of like inner peace. I feel like there's a lot of inner peace that is being granted to you. So whether that's being at peace with the things that you have contributed to, or maybe at peace with your past, or maybe at peace of where you're going, things like that. But it feels like you are formulating a lot of things to help contribute to your inner peace, and that you're continuously working on it. You're continuously trying new things to adapt to that and what that would be like for you. And I feel like you're at that launching point where it's like, okay, what is the final touch? What is going to get me to that perfect level of inner peace? And that is what you need, because it feels like there's been a lot of things that have gave you conflicted energies recently. And maybe this is something that has been building for a while, actually. So the past few months, or maybe even the past year. But there's just a lot of truth that needs to be let out of your mind, body, and soul that you have stuck with inside you, but you are not allowing it to be revealed to the universe, right? And it almost seems like you're waiting for the right moment, the right point to be able to contribute to that. But that inner peace is also going to grant you permission to feel more like yourself. It's also going to grant you permission to maybe even connect with your truest self or your highest self, and allowing yourself to really utilize that connection. Okay. Being in alignment with your true self, which is really the ultimate fulfillment that you can actually have in life, I feel like, is being connected to your truest self. And yeah, I do think that's going to be the mastery here of this month. So maybe, dabbling into more spiritual things, or dabbling into something that you feel guided to do and pursue, or maybe even pursuing new things that could bring you that inner peace that maybe you have never done before, or just finalizing, that inner work that you're currently working on and adapting it with that loving connection with yourself, giving yourself that loving effect, giving yourself that more attentive attention that you need for yourself, and paying attention to yourself and paying attention to what your highest self is calling out for you to do, things like that. And I think that you're going to find that inner peace there. So the overall energy of your emotional and physical, what is that going to be like? Starting with the emotional, we have for the emotional, we have the 5 of Cups, and then for the physical, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So for some reason, I feel like this is something that you have tried before. I feel like this is an energy that might feel like you're going down the same path that you have before, and that you are emotionally convinced that maybe you aren't going to be able to do it this time. But I think that's a really pessimistic type of way to look at it, right? Because I feel like what you have done is you've tried new things. You have pursued new things. You are going about it with a different energy, whether you realize it or not. And I think physically, with the 6 of Pentacles being out here, that you are going to be able to be a bit more decisive with your actions. You're going to be a bit more careful with what you pursue, or careful with how you do certain things, and actually do the right things for you, regardless of a reaction of any sort. And I think you're going to be able to kind of flip the script a little bit here with your emotional. If you are able to allow your emotions to kind of follow your physical and allow that to be matched, I think that you're going to be in a perfect balance to be able to pursue this new type of energy that you're needing to find for this inner peace, right? There's just a lot of conflict. There's just a lot of energy that you're dealing with. Like, you want something so bad, but it almost seems like you can't have it because of maybe the hand that you've been dealt, or maybe some past energies that you've had to deal with, or maybe just this. It's not necessarily an ego, but it feels like an ego kind of telling you like, hey, it's not going to work, or hey, you're not good enough, or hey, whatever this bad memory is that you're holding on to in the emotional needs to be released for you to be able to pursue that. And that might be the last thing that needs to be mastered for you to go from the 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups, because this person is literally looking at this 1 cup, which is kind of strange, because usually with the 5 of Cups, it's usually 3 cups turned over and 2 cups standing upright, but it's literally only 1 cup here that is actually upright. And this guy in the picture is constantly staring at it, saying like, what do I do with this cup? But what he can do with the cup is bring it over here, put it all with all these other cups that you have upright and are balanced and everything like that. You're able to conquer that and add to your collection to make it 10 full cups that you're proud to have, that gives you this inner peace, that gives you this inner knowing of who you are and what you want to do and the things that you can contribute to. So realistically, with the 6 of Pentacles, it feels like physically that you've got to give to the right things, right? You've got to give to the right things and don't give to the wrong things, and know what that is. And make sure you're very decisive with your energy output, okay? So as long as your emotions can adapt to that, then you're good. Who or what is coming into the life of Libra in the month of December? We have the Sun. So the sun is a very beautiful card, a very rejoicing card. You could honestly say that it's adding light to a situation. It's giving you more of this optimistic energy, this lightheartedness, this energy of like, let's go ahead and conquer the day type of energy. And I realistically feel like this is the energy that you're going to be feeling once you get to a point where you're mastering this Five of Cups, you're mastering the emotions, you're trying these new things. These new things are adding light to maybe some things that you have questions about. Maybe you have questions about past things. Maybe you have questions about your life. Maybe you have questions about, future things that you want to pursue. But I feel like this light is coming in to answer all these questions for you. And it might be coming from a source of things that you're going to be pursuing within the month of trying to find this inner peace. So if there's new things that you're going to pursue for like hobbies or activities or just things that you want to learn or, do in life, for some reason, I'm feeling like one of the things that's coming out is kind of like crocheting. If you have an interest in crocheting, maybe, like activities like that keeps you focused or keeps you doing things, might actually pursue this energy. It could be also going to a spiritual group or trying something new spiritually, things like that. It just feels like there's a lot of answers coming to you in some sort of way, some sort of fashion to help guide you in the right direction and give you this uplifting energy and feel kind of reconnected to an inner childlike state of mind. So who or what is leaving the life of Libra? We have the Eight of Cups. Ooh, okay. So the Eight of Cups is an act of leaving something behind. And I kind of feel like it's a certain mindset that you might have. Maybe there's a mindset that you've held on to for too long and that you are allowing that mindset to kind of be released along with this Five of Cups energy. And it's allowing you to kind of pursue a healthier way of thinking, a healthier mindset, especially with these answers. Maybe these answers are kind of pushing out this energy and allowing you to kind of feel the need to release it. And it looks like we have a solar eclipse here above this person walking away. So this energy might be you trying to get to a point where you can actually see the sun instead of it being in a solar eclipse and being covered up, protected, or whatever. So it might be walking away from something that is covering up answers for yourself. Maybe it's detaching from, like I said, either a certain mindset or a certain person, or maybe even a certain place that keeps you closed-minded to a point where you can't see what it is that you want to see for yourself. You're allowing other things or other people to convince you in a way that that's the answer, but it's really not. And you're not really seeing it for yourself. So I feel like you're going to a different vantage point to be able to see clearer answers for yourself that actually allows you to answer your own questions that you might have. And that's kind of like the energy that I'm picking up, that you are going to be walking away from an old vantage point that you were seeing things from, and that you're going to be able to see things a bit more clear and maybe detaching from energies that were the solar eclipse, whatever it is that is covering up the sun for you. I feel like that's kind of like what this is talking about. So it seems like it might be you like pushing away these energies. It's not necessarily like they're leaving on their own, or it could be, spirit could be pushing them out. But I do feel like you're kind of the one that is leaving those certain energies, right? So what is the biggest change that's going to be happening here in the month of December for Libras? We have, the Death and Rebirth and the Six of Wands. So it feels like there's a lot more independency here. There's a lot more focus on yourself. There's a lot more about learning about yourself, things like that. And the Death and Rebirth is, old patterns, old ways that, aren't really fitting for you, that come to a close, and allow yourself to revitalize maybe some deeper knowing or deeper feelings to yourself that do fit yourself and do uplift your energies, and allow yourself to kind of focus more heavily on your energies versus focusing on the outer world and what things are being provided to you. You're looking towards yourself to provide certain energies. I feel like this is going to be a lot of victory for you. There's going to be a lot of accomplishments for you within this month. And I feel like that's going to be a big change for you. Maybe you haven't really felt like you've been accomplishing much here, and that you've just been constantly like wearing out your hands, constantly working, constantly trying to provide whatever. And I feel like there's just going to be a lot of things that go right for you, especially with this shapeshift of your mind. Maybe you're getting rid of this Five of Cups type of energy, and you're allowing your mind to kind of focus more in on what is actually good and what is actually working, and adapting to a new mindset. And then all of a sudden things just start to click. Things just start to work. Things just start to provide back to you, giving you a lot of good energy, giving you a lot of good victories. Things are coming to completion, things like that, and are definitely rewarding to you. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that are attracted to you as well. And things are going to be coming at you and uplifting your energies and giving back to you in a good way. So that's going to be a big change for you. But what is it that you need to be made aware of here in the month of December? Temperance. And we have the King of Swords. Interesting. And it looks like they're basically the same person. They look like they are the same person here. One just has what seems to be like a longer beard in the Temperance picture. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of executive choices that you have to make. You have to follow along your inner truth, your inner peace, but you've got to eliminate things and to do some of the work to provide what that inner truth or that inner peace is for you. And that way you know what to act on. That way you know what to pursue and allow yourself to be happy. So the King of Swords is very distinct, very, I wouldn't necessarily say controlling. Could be controlling, but I just feel like you are going to have to grow into this power of being okay of taking charge, being okay of making choices, being okay with cutting things out of your life that doesn't make sense for you or doesn't vibe well with you, and walking into the next room that has those energies for you that can replace within inside yourself and give you that inner peace, give you that inner truth, give you that inner knowing, and just having that connection with your higher self. I think you're really wanting to reestablish that connection. I think you're really wanting to connect more on a spiritual basis with some things in your life, and maybe it's time to kind of move into that direction and pursue that, because it's something that I feel like you are longing for and you're working very, very hard to accomplish here. So that is what you need to be made aware of. And let's see here. Okay. So the energies that you're going to be going out of the month of December is Warrior, Be Fearless, and Stand Strong. So it seems like whatever challenges you are facing, whatever you're pursuing, whatever you are kind of like trying to accomplish, it does seem like you're going to be able to get it all within the month of December and actually accomplish it. You're actually going to be able to stand strong and stand tall and not allow things to like push you in a direction you don't want to go. I just feel like you're going to be able to overcome this. This is giving me like a 6 of Wands type of energy as well with the Warrior card. And I just think you're just going to persevere. I think you're going to be in that energy of, okay, I have kind of strengthened my mind. I've allowed myself to formulate what it is I need to do and pursue, and that I have the power to do all things that I want to do, and that you're going to keep driving that energy into the new year, and that you're going to have a year for yourself that is going to help you blossom into more of your deeper truths that you maybe have been suppressing, and you're allowing that to come out with the way you present yourself. You're allowing that to come out with your mindset and how you take on things and how you pursue things, and actually taking on things that you actually want to do, you know, like maybe you're actually wanting to do things that you haven't done before. And maybe you've been kept away from those things. So now you're being able to take those things on, and you're not caring about other things. You know, it's your mission, you know, it's your duty. And now it's time to take it on full course at the end of the month for you. And you're embodying that energy. That is really powerful, really great. But if you have any questions or concerns, that's what I got for you. Drop them below in the comments. And also, if you have any questions that stimulate off this reading, feel free to reach out for a private reading. There's a link in the description. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed. And until next reading, take care.